Okay, so I think we'll kick off. You're all very welcome here to this virtual open day for the School of Surveying and Construction Management. My name is Dr. Frank Harrington, and I'm the Assistant Head of School and also responsible for the real estate discipline. I'm joined here by my colleagues, Dr. Roisin Murphy, who is a Senior Lecturer and Programme Chair of the Quantity Surveying Master's Programme. And I'm also joined by Alan Shino, who is the Programme Chair of the MSc in GIS. I suppose to start off, this session is being recorded, so I'd ask all questions to be kept for the Q&A, at which point we will take questions, and we'll switch off to recording for that point. The structure of the presentation is I'll give a short introduction to the school and then just talk about the real estate discipline briefly before handing over to Roisin, who will take you through the QS programs, and then Alan will take you through the opportunities through the GIS Masters. So I suppose, as you can see from the PowerPoint slide here, the main disciplines that we operate in are construction management, geographic science, quantity surveying, and real estate. And I suppose one way of thinking of it is looking at the stages of construction. The geographic surveyors and the geospatial surveyors do a lot of mapping, although that's not all they do. They do a lot of other things that Alan will take you through, and they map the world that we live in. And real estate surveyors determine the market and analyze the market for what's, should I say, in terms of what sort of buildings you would put onto the land. And from there, the construction process, you have the quantity surveyors who will estimate the cost of buildings, and the quantity surveyor and the construction manager, should I say, who will manage the process. And then the real estate surveyors come back in terms of valuation, letting and selling, and the asset management side of things. And together with our colleagues in the School of Architecture and Planning, we cover really all disciplines in the built environment. So the first thing I'm going to do is show a short little video, which will probably capture that in a little bit more detail. So that gives you a high-level overview of the school. I suppose the school, being a school of surveying, and we've mentioned chartered accreditations there, is accredited by major professional bodies. The Society of Chartered Surveyors in Ireland, the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors is the main international body, the CIOB as well, and we've also accreditations with legislative partners like the PSRA, the Property Service Regulatory Authority, as well. As I said, we're in high demand in terms of our graduates. There is a lot of demand from industry at the moment, I'll just take you through the real estate one now. So in terms of the real estate discipline, we have two courses on offer. First thing to say is that it's a conversion course, so it's not for somebody who has studied one of the basic disciplines that we would undertake at undergrad level, which are listed there on the side: property economics, auctioneering, valuation, and estate agency. It's rather for people who are coming from maybe an economics background, law, or some other area, who want to reskill into the property area. So if you have a level 8 in any of those sort of economics, architecture disciplines, it may be for you to convert into property. There's two programs. There's a part-time program and a full-time program. The full-time program is a 1 year. TU 281 is a 1 year full-time. That goes from September until September. So you have 2 semesters, the 12-week semester from starting in September, and the one starting in February. Then you will also have to do your dissertation over the summer, so it's really a September to September 1 year program. Apologies for the noise in the background. The part-time program is a 2.5 year program, so it's the same modules as you're undertaking on the full-time program. So it's 2.5 years part-time, so it's 2 years academically, and then the final half year from September to January is undertaking the dissertation similarly. It's accredited by the Society of Chartered Surveyors Ireland, the SCSI, and the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, and the Property Service Regulatory Authority. The programme chair on it is Dr. Lorcan Sir, and his email is there. Offers have been made for 2022. We do encourage people to still make offers for the waiting list. We often get cancellations at the last minute, so we are encouraging people to still make their offers to be considered. And if you are interested, if you don't get an offer to place this year, please do make an application early next year. Applications will open in November for the 2023 academic term. So now I'm going to hand on to Dr. Roisin Murphy, who will talk to you about quantity surveying.
Thanks, Frank. Hi, and you're very welcome. As Frank has said, my name is Dr. Roisin Murphy, and I am the Programme Chair for the MSc in Quantity Surveying degree programme, which is a part-time conversion programme for people who've never studied quantity surveying before, but would like to earn a qualification at level 9 in the quantity surveying discipline. There are a huge amount of opportunities for graduates of this programme because at the moment, you may be aware, there is a huge shortage of quantity surveyors in Ireland. So the role of the quantity surveyor is essentially the construction cost accountant for a construction project, and people with qualifications in quantity surveying tend to work in the areas of the preparation of feasibility studies and development appraisal, for advising clients in procurement, project finance, project control and financial reporting, in addition to value management. And the role of the quantity surveyor also engages and uses quite a lot of technology, specifically building information modelling, BIM, as you may know it. So the programme itself is at level 9. It is a conversion programme for those already working within the construction sector. So employment within construction or related sector is a recommendation and indeed a prerequisite for entry onto this particular programme. Often we attract graduates from engineering, architecture, economics, business degree, accountants will be on the programme. So we get a really diverse and interesting group of people on the programme who have an interest and a passion for the built environment and the construction process, but have a particular interest in the costing of a construction project over its whole life. So this particular MSc programme is also accredited by the Society of Chartered Surveyors Ireland, and it's a 2.5-year duration, part-time, normally over 2 evenings a week. So the first 2 years, or 4 semesters, are taught. So you'll undertake a suite of modules in relation to things like construction technology, building measurement, construction economics, which is the module that I lecture on the programme, law. And then there's a number of elective modules that you can undertake in terms of advanced measurement, commercial management, project management, and strategy and leadership as well. So it's run over 4 taught semesters. Again, normally 2 evenings per week. At the moment, we have a blended approach to delivery where there is some on-campus delivery and there's some online delivery. And it's likely, although the programme technically is a fully in-person on campus, but it is possible that we will have a more blended approach in the short to medium term, given the prevailing conditions. In the 3rd year, it's only half a year really, it's a semester, you undertake a dissertation where you have a research project of your choosing, and you work with an experienced supervisor in the delivery of a dissertation, or indeed a company project. So if there's a particular issue or solution that your company is looking for and they want to engage in some research, we can accommodate that as well. And for people on the programme who are already working within the construction sector, this tends to be an option that's favoured increasingly, in fact, by our students. So that gives you an overview of what the programme is about. Entry requirements are a minimum of a 2nd class honour 2-2 in a level 8 undergraduate degree programme or equivalent. It is highly recommended, and it is actually part of the admission requirements that you're working in a construction or a related environment, because some of the learning that you will undertake will actually be in your own work environment to accompany and support the learning that you are undertaking here in TU Dublin in Bolton Street. So places are limited. We limit the class to a maximum of 25. We do still currently have some availability on the programme. If you are interested and you meet the minimum requirements, we do offer places on a rolling basis, and I'll be making the next round of offers within the next week or thereabouts. If you are at what we would classify a non-standard entry, or so if there's one of the sets of requirement that you don't meet, but you think you've got sufficient experience, for example, to support it, we will consider those applications as on a non-standard basis, in which case you'll be invited to attend an interview in early May. But it's a good idea to get your application in using the usual postgraduate application process for that. If you are an international student, you will need to demonstrate proof of English language proficiency, which is normally an IELTS level 6 to at a minimum, but preferably level 7. But again, we will consider each application, and if it is what we would classify as non-standard, we do hold interviews for entry onto the programme in early May, because the application process closes at the end of April. So we do have spaces on this programme. Career opportunities are plentiful in Ireland at this moment, but also for the medium and long term, because within our own national policies for our National Development Plan and other government policies, there is a really, really strong pipeline of work within the quantity surveying profession. So 2.5 years, level 9, it's only offered on a part-time basis. And if you have any queries, as Frank has said, I am the programme chair for the programme. My contact details are on the flyer. They're online as well, and I'm happy to take any questions that you may have at the end of this session as well. So I'm going to hand you over now to Alan, who'll talk you through the geomatic science programmes.
Good evening, everybody, and you are more than welcome to this presentation. So I am the chair of the Masters in GIS, which is all about what you do with existing maps and statistics using maps. And there are two formats for it, I may say, or two styles of delivery, two courses. One is a part-time course, and the other one is a full-time course. The duration for the full-time course is 1 year from September to October the year after, because there is the dissertation. This is a program that has been accredited from the Society of Chartered Surveyors Ireland. And you can see my details, so you can contact me. Please do not hesitate to contact me for any further questions at the end of this presentation. So the Masters in GIS is running since 2013, and this is a conversion Masters. In other words, you do not need to have any GIS background. Again, it's delivered as part-time and full-time. And the part-time will be running over 4 semesters, so you will have 12 taught modules plus the dissertation. The full-time, you will cover the same modules, but over 1 year. The modules are delivered jointly to part-time and full-time. In other words, if you're a full-time student, half your module will be taken at the same time as the first year part-time, and half the other modules will be delivered at the same time as the second year part-time students. A student can exit the program after 12 modules, and in this case, you will graduate with a postgraduate diploma in case you decide that you do not want to pursue the master's and you want to leave without doing the dissertation. One of the elements within the school that has been mentioned by my colleagues is the lack of graduates. In other words, the industry highlights that we need more graduates within the GIS area. And this will be from both public and private sectors, from local authorities to private GIS companies. We have had students all over the years who have been overseas, working overseas as well. So I think if I recall from a recent document, there are only 2 countries in the world who don't have enough GIS specialists. So that's a good opportunity to find work, not only in Ireland, but abroad. The list of modules, if I look at the full-time modules, so it will be delivered over 2 days and 2 evenings a week. And there will be some GIS strong components, but also some web design modules and some databases modules, which is probably my my specialization at this stage, I may say, and project management as well. So at the end, it means that you can apply as a GIS technician or GIS consultant. There is one module that we run, which is the work placement. So at the end, just before you start the dissertation, at the end of the academic year, you will be in work placement within a GIS company. And as there is a lack of graduates, what happens very often is that the companies keep you afterwards. And for the part-time, again, they are the same modules, but it will be over 2 years, and you will have the same modules with the work placement again, where you will be assigned to a company. If you are already working within a company, you can typically do a project for 2 weeks related to GIS. And then afterwards, you will have the dissertation to be submitted in October the second year. And to apply, you can use this link. So if you want more information on how to apply for as a part-time student and what are the requirements, you can use this link. And for the full-time, the link underneath. The minimum requirement is a 2.2 as an honor bachelor degree, level 8. Over the years, we get students from various backgrounds. It can be programming, it can be a BA. We had as well some physicians, any kind of background really. If you don't have these requirements, we'll be looking at significant relevant industry experience. Typically for the part-time students, every year we get 2 or 3 who did not achieve a level 8 for any reasons. And typically if they got 3 or 4 years experience within the surveying industry, in this case, they can apply. And if you are not too sure, of course, you can contact me and I can either set up a meeting or answer your email. And I guess I will pass it on back to you, Frank, if that's okay.
Yeah, thanks, Alan and Roisin, for giving those overviews of the programs. So I suppose, thank you all for attending this. We can now open it up to questions. If you can put them into the chat, please.